Mr. Westmoreland.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank all of you for being here. And I realize the condition the auto industry is in, but for you guys in the manufacturing business, I think we've always seen a lot of your people be, a lot of business manufacturing shipped overseas, and manufacturing is a key foundation to this country. So, Mr. Jones, I wanted to start out. I'll ask a fellow Georgian a question. You said in your testimony that the problems for your industry are larger than the automotive crisis. And I'd like for everybody to answer this, but where do you see other segments of U.S. manufacturing headed? Because to me, manufacturing has been hit harder than anybody else with job loss and really company loss. So I'd like to hear your answer to that.
Thank you, Congressman. As I mentioned, Dixie Industrial Finishing has had to replace 100% of its sales within the last 10 years. And the reason for that is the exodus of manufacturing in our region to other parts of the world, whether it be to Mexico or whether it be with manufacturers importing their product that they previously manufactured domestically, importing from China or India or other low-cost producing countries that don't have the same regulatory requirements that we have. They don't have the structural costs that we have. They don't have the tort. They don't have the taxes. They don't have the health care. They don't have the regulatory. They don't have the energy costs that we have. So consequently, we're having to deal with them going elsewhere and us trying to find new business. Well, where's our new business coming from? Our new business is coming from those in our industry that have suffered far greater than we have by closing their doors. And that's where we have been able to pick up some business. We've also been able to do a lot of things to keep some business here and allow some of our customers to be able to compete on the world market through innovation and technology by productivity improvements. We have one product that we process that over the last 7 to 8 years to help one of our customers, we have increased productivity by over 300%. On other products, we've had as much as 200% and some 100%. So we're constantly investing. We're constantly looking at new technologies. We're constantly doing things to try to protect our customer base and protect the jobs here in the U.S. and try to keep them from going elsewhere. Other times, we can't do anything about it.
Now, let me ask you this. Is that due to bad trade agreements? Is it due to regulation, environmental, and as you mentioned, I guess labor laws? Has that led to part of it? Is it just bad trade deals, or what's causing that?
I think that it's probably a combination of many. On the regulatory side, on our wastewater treatment, the water that we use for our processes and our environmental controls, we spend right at 10% of our sales dollar on regulatory issues. A gallon of water costs us 0.008 cents per gallon to purchase it. When it goes out our door after we've treated it, we tack another 3.9 cents per gallon onto that gallon of water. That is a cost that's associated. We have other things that we're looking at that we're having to face with some of our trading partners is certainly low wages, no regulatory. They have unfair trade practices such as currency manipulation. There are other issues as far as government subsidies on items that they export to the U.S. So these are some of the items that are affecting manufacturing domestically.
Any of you other gentlemen on the panel would like to address that?
Yes, sir. I think it goes along with what we mentioned earlier about the problem with dealing overseas and even some of the American trading partners of ours where we have the inability to compete.
I appreciate it. I went over my time. I'll wait if we get a chance to come back around again.
We have to do something with the taxes. We are 25% behind the 8 ball starting. Most of that is tax or import duties or things like that.
Mr. Stern, go ahead.
Add
Well,
the
I'll be
federal
brief.
situation. Most of the states
in
are
our-
already.
in
So
our
what is the
case,
state going to
this
do? They're
is
going to be
a
doing the
dramatic
taxes and the
reduction in
counties and
cost
so
for
on.
communication
And by the
and,
time you get done, there's just nothing left
communicating
for
with
anyone to
veterans
do,
about
and your
their
margins are so
real
small to be competitive.
psychological
It really
needs
becomes
early
very, very
will
difficult.
truncate many years
And then you
of
add the healthcare
therapy
issue, which I
thereafter.
mentioned earlier to
I
it,
think in our-
which
so
we
it
all
has
want
to
to do.
stand
I
up
mean,
to
that's
the
one of those
cost
things that we
benefits,
feel
and
strong about.
I'm sure
It
that
becomes a
that
very,
does.
very difficult
That
situation.
said, for many of the
So I
technologies
do
we've
think
heard about
that
today, there's
we
also
have a
social
short-term problem,
benefit
which
that
we've
often
kind of
transcends
addressed here about
the
how do
economic
we get
parts,
cash infusion,
and I
how do
think
we
that
keep people
somehow,
alive for the
even
next
though it
5, 6
can't be
months.
quantitative,
But we really do have a long-term problem
has to be
in
measured.
America on manufacturing in that we are kind of forgetting about how we got where we got.
In the setting of rehabilitation, the VA is
And
clearly
if
very
we don't
strong,
look
but
into
its
that,
emphasis is
a lot of these
largely on
industries are going to
device
end up
and
being forced. I
engineering-based
have
approaches. And
one gentleman in
one
my
of the things I think
association
stem
who
cell
last year
biology
had
represents is a way
580
to try to
people.
take
This year he has
advantage
210.
of
He had
cellular
4 plants, he
components
now has
that may
1.
enhance the
And
ability
unfortunately,
of
the one
such
plant
devices to be
manufacturing is in
functional
China.
and to have the
And
VA
that's
be
just the
involved
nature of
in
the beast. So
bringing
we need to
together
really
teams of
look seriously
individuals
about
who have
that
the
once we
perspective
get
and
out of the hole
expertise
we're in right now.
that the VA system
Thank you.
represents.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.